because one part of their solution is to really enable communication. I mean, if you look at the history of technology, it was really to help connect people. So it seems like that narrative has just amplified. But when you look into the fine prints, into the details of AI or the implementation, it's not solved. And so you need to properly lay out those solutions. So, because otherwise, if you implement AI blindly, also you're putting a veil or a mask on your identity, on your culture. And what we crave as human is being seen and in expressing our identity and in our culture. How do we ensure that we use AI in language in a way that continues to express our identities, to express what we are trying to say? And yes, it will be helpful in dire situation like what we've seen in British Columbia. But if the AI algorithm sort of put a veil on some of the expression in the culture, how will be that person being able to address such a sensitive situation? So we need to be able to lay out those foundations so that AI can help us scale and go to market faster and really find those solutions. But it's in the details. We have to properly lay out and use AI as an amplifier, not as a replacer of human skills. And that is a fine line, and it's going to be even more into details when we see those technologies. They're amazing. And here, I'm not anti-technology. I think it's great. However, we need to roll them out adequately to not lose the meaning, because at the end of the day is the meaning from one person to another, from one culture to another, and it cannot get lost in the algorithm filters and output that are not our voice.
That's right. And you bring a very good topic, because I addressed that yesterday in my podcast that I published. I think it was this morning. I published one with Vivetta. We talk about, I talk about the ability to put guardrails around AI or any technology. I mean, AI could be the tool of choice for certain people, but maybe not for some others. Whatever you're using, you need to put some guardrails or some policies around it, because, as an example, and I keep referring back to that BC case, AI could not detect, for instance, a mental condition, a mental health issue. Could not detect that. A human would, but AI would just do a straight translation. I mean, would not detect this individual is going through some psychotic episode, for instance, or some other issues they probably have. Maybe not, but AI will not be able to detect the human emotion that is driving the context of the conversation.